Pinko and the Echo of Dissonance. In the vibrant heart of Lumina Grove, where the trees hum with ancient frequencies, lived Pinko. He was a creature of spectrum and light, his fur a swirling nebula of pink, blue, and purple clay. While others were content with the daily rhythm of the forest, Pinko always felt a strange vibration in his small, spiraled horn, a restless energy that whispered of things beyond the canopy. He spent his mornings adjusting his favorite woven cape, the glowing cyan crystal around his neck pulsing in time with his heartbeat. One afternoon, Melody Grove hit a sound note. Pinko noticed a cluster of starflowers near the stream, losing their luster. Their vibrant petals were turning a dull, chalky gray, and the air around them felt heavy and silent. He reached out a paw, and as he touched a petal, a cold shiver ran up his arm. The gray hush was spreading, a phenomenon he had only heard of in hushed legends. It was a void that didn't just take color, it took the very soul of the sound. Seeking answers, Pinko climbed to the great observatory to find Octave, the elder sage. Octave was a creature of wisdom, sculpted from deep mahogany clay, with eyes like polished amber. "The chroma heart is out of tune, Pinko," Octave hooted softly, his voice vibrating through the floorboards. "The world is losing its resonance, because the great tuning fork at Prism Peak has fallen silent. Without its vibration, the colors have nothing to hold on to." Octave handed Pinko an ancient map, its edges frayed and weathered. "You have the resonance, young one," Octave said, pointing a feathered wing toward the jagged silhouette of the mountains on the horizon. "Your horn is a natural conductor, but the path is drained of color, and the silence there is heavy. You must reach the peak before the hush claims the grove entirely." Octave looked weary, the gray creeping into the tips of his own wooden talons. At the edge of the grove, Pinko met Lyra, a swift-footed creature of sleek, orange and gold clay. She was a scout who knew the mountain passes better than anyone. "I've seen the hush," Lyra said, her voice sharp like a snapping twig. "It's not just silence, it's a weight. If we go fast." Pinko nodded, his pink and purple tail twitching with a mix of fear and excitement. Together, they stepped out of the safety of the trees and into the muted barrens. The journey was grueling. As they climbed higher, the air grew thin, and the silence became deafening. Lyra led the way across a bridge of shattered glass rock, her nimble paws barely touching the surface. She moved with a desperate grace, trying to outrun the creeping gray that followed their footsteps. "Don't look back," she urged, her orange fur looking pale under the overcast, colorless sky. They reached the Cavern of Echoes, the only way through the mountain. Inside, the darkness was absolute, and the gray hush felt like a physical pressure against their chests. Lyra stumbled, the lack of sound disorienting her senses. I can't hear my own heartbeat," she whispered, her clay form beginning to stiffen. Pinko felt the cold too, but his horn began to throb with a fierce, rhythmic heat. "Listen to me, Lyra," Pinko cried out. He closed his eyes and focused on the melody of Lumina Grove, the rustle of the leaves, the bubbling of the stream, and the song of the birds. He channeled that memory into his horn. A blinding flash of pink and blue light erupted, shattering the silence with a harmonic boom. The gray shadows recoiled, unable to withstand the pure frequency of Pinko's spirit. They emerged onto the summit of Prism Peak. In the center stood the great tuning fork, a massive structure of translucent crystal. It was cracked and dull. Pinko approached it, his small paw trembling. He realized he didn't need to fix the fork. He needed to become it. He pressed his glowing horn against the crystal and hummed the deepest, most honest note he had ever felt. The crystal began to vibrate, catching the light and refracting it into 1,000 rainbows. The resonance surged through the earth, a wave of color and sound that raced back to Lumina Grove. The gray vanished, replaced by even more vivid hues than before. Lyra stood beside Pinko, her orange fur glowing in the new dawn. Pinko felt a sense of peace. He had found his purpose. He wasn't just a creature of the grove. He was the bridge between the light and the music of the world.